Good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Monday, February 26th. Frank Granito in studio alongside Kevin Coleman. And happy to see you survive Super Saturday, my friend.
Listen, Saturday was a lot of fun with Coach Joel Gariak. I thought he did a terrific job with him in the booth. Super Saturday, we had a busy day on Saturday. Of course, you guys, you, John, and Michael over there at the Ice House. So hockey, basketball, playoff season has arrived. Saturday was filled with a lot of high-intensity basketball at Fairfield Ward. Easily one of the best Saturdays of the year, and it lived up to it.
And you know what? Even if Coach Gariak was our fourth choice, clearly the right choice. Great job by Coach Gariak. Really appreciate the help. And the insight was tremendous for all four basketball games, which we'll cover later on in the show. We're going to break down Thursday night's Girls FCAC Championship. The Trumbull Eagles, still the cream of the crop, as they are the queens of the conference again. But before that, it is a Monday, and it is time for us to announce our Week 8 nominees for Athlete of the Week in the winter season. And for our first female nominee, we'll send it over to Kevin.
Thank you, Frank. From Greenwich Girls Hockey, the champions, Jessie Aslan. Aslan earned tournament MVP honors as the Cardinals topped New Canaan 2-1 for their second straight FCAC title Saturday at the Darien Ice House. A senior, Aslan collected 26 saves against 27 shots in the final and allowed just one goal in 2 tournament games. In the semis, she made 22 saves and a 3-0 shutout over Richfield Danbury Co-op.
All right, how about AJ Kovacs of the Danbury Wrestling Squad, who won a state open championship at 145 pounds and helped lead the Hatters to their second consecutive and fourth open title in the past 6 years. The sophomore Kovacs won all 4 of his matches via the pinfall, and in the final he built a 10-0 lead before pinning Killingsley Zach Burgess at the 3:52 mark. Kev.
From the Trumbull Eagles championship team, back-to-back champs, Julie Keckler was named the FCAC tournament MVP after racking up 14 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals in the Eagles' 60-49 win over Wilton in the championship game Thursday night. It's the second straight title for Trumbull, which is 22-1 heading into the CIAC Class Double-L playoffs.
All right, from the Norwalk Bears basketball team, Tyreek Langley helping the Bears pull off one of the biggest upsets of the season. He dropped a game-best 28 points when the 8th-seeded Bears upset defending conference champion and top seed Ridgefield 59-50. 19 of his points came in the second half, and the young man was 7 of 8 from the free throw line in the second half as well.
From Greenwich Gymnastics, we have Adris De Jesus. De Jesus won every event and scored a perfect 10 on the vault to help lead the Cardinals to the CIAC Class L championship on Saturday at Pomperaug High School. She scored 9.55 or better in every event for an all-around score of 38.975. Greenwich won the team title with a score of 105 points.
Okay, and on boys hockey, we go with Parker McLean of the Darien Ice Hockey team. The senior scored 2 of the Waves' final 3 goals, as Darien broke open a 2-2 game to defeat rival New Canaan 5-2. McLean snapped the tie with a goal assisted by Connor McCarthy with 3:41 to play in the second period, and then just 3 minutes into the third period scored unassisted to make it 4-2.
And the final female nominee from Wilton Gymnastics is Jessie Olin. Jessie posted an overall score of 36 points, finishing with the first 2 events in second and 2 others to lead the Warriors to their first state title since 2009. The junior took first in the vault and floor with scores of 9.2 and 9.6 and finished second on the bars and beam. Wilton defeated defending champion Daniel Hand by 1.7 points, Frank.
All right, and our final nominee of the Danbury basketball team is Jordan Brown. Brown scored 23 points in Danbury's 83-58 quarterfinal victory over number 6 Bridgeport Central on Saturday afternoon. Brown and the Hatters now take on the number 2 seed Trinity Catholic in the semifinals on Tuesday. There are your 8 nominees for the Week 8 Winter Athlete of the Week. We hope you get online and vote. The voting will open, at 3 p.m. this afternoon, and you have till 11:59 on Sunday night to vote. Kevin and I are going to take a break. When we get back, we will dive deeper into Super Saturday's basketball matchups right after this on the HAN Network.
Voted Best Gourmet to Go in Fairfield County, Palmer's extensive menu offers everything you'll need to make your next event easy and delicious. Whether you're hosting a small get-together or planning a large celebration, they've got you covered breakfast through dessert. Order online at palmersdarien.com or call 203-655-2077. Voted.
Yeah, Dad.
Kyle, I need you to update the financial statements.
I took care of that yesterday, Dad.
Mac, I need you to get those deals approved.
They're all done, Mr. Miller.
Jeff, I need you to order lunch for the meeting. They can't do a thing without me.
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
I'm never going to retire.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us. UK
Voted Best Gourmet to Go in Fairfield County, Palmer's extensive.
Back on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network, Frank Granito alongside Kevin Coleman. Looking back on Saturday's boys basketball quarterfinals in the FCX tournament. Kev, let's start with the first matchup of the day. Big win for Danbury as they take care of Central 83-58. Jordan Brown leading all scorers in the game with 23 points. But really, you know, we were talking about it this morning, a Danbury team that looks like the best team in the conference right now at the right time.
They certainly do. And I think it's tough for them because they love to face Trinity Catholic in the final, but they face each other in what's going to be a fantastic semifinal tomorrow night at the Z. Danbury just moves so fast in transition. They are able to force turnovers, and Jordan Brown, that's a big reason why he scored a lot of his 23 points. We're moving in transition on Saturday afternoon. Again, just a great performance from him. Denali Burton, well, a little slow start in the first half, really picked it up in the second half. He was an absolute monster on the boards. I think if Danbury wants to move to that championship game Thursday night, he's going to have to continue to do a great job of boxing out, getting big rebounds, getting the outlet pass out, and that's where Danbury just flies up the floor.
Yeah, and if there were a game he could get away with being off the glass and maybe not at his top performance level, it was Saturday against Central. And, you know, the Hilltoppers played tough. They had a great season. I think they're a real contender in Division II, but just outmatched against a top-class Danbury team right now.
And foul trouble cost them too. Agramonte fouled out. Zach Williams got in foul trouble. Zach Williams finished with 21 points. He had a great afternoon as well. DJ Fulton had a great season as well for the Hilltoppers. A really impressive year for him. He had some nice plays. Only 13 points. Danbury did a nice job against him in the second half defensively. But again, the adjustment, I thought, it was close at half. The first half was a closer game. The second half, and it's interesting. You talk to a bunch of these Danbury players and coaching staffs of Danbury, and it's not like they're playing bad in the first half, but they all know they're a second half team.
Yeah, it's a slow start there.
Slow start for Danbury, but it's interesting. They all agree. We're a second half team. We pick it up once we come out of the break. So Danbury moving forward, if they are losing at halftime, still don't count out the Hatters if they are trailing at halftime tomorrow night or if they make it to the final. This is a second half team, a very impressive performance on Saturday.
83-58. Let's take a look at the Hatters' quarterfinal win. All right, so a little technical difficulty there. We'll go on to our next game now. Trinity Catholic and Stanford, 42-39. And for me, Kevin, when I first looked at this box score, I thought to myself, wow, you know, I thought it would be a close game. city rivalry. They had just played against each other. I gave Stanford a fighter's chance in this one. I was shocked at how low scoring it was, and then I dove in a little bit deeper, and we'll save the shot clock debate for another day. But
yeah.
I mean, you know, Trinity Catholic, they get the win. They're on. A lot of frustration for the Crusaders to have to overcome and deal with.
It was a very frustrating afternoon for head coach Mike Walsh and his players. The body language was a little concerning at times for me, looking over to the bench for Trinity Catholic. They get the win, they move on. That's all that matters for them. But you look at this game, first possession, the tip-off goes to Trinity Catholic. They missed their first opportunity on their first possession. Zach Smith had it perfectly planned out that when they got their first possession for Stanford, Tevin St. John was going to sit on the ball at the other side of the court's half court for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Trinity Catholic didn't even come up to contest. They were playing man-to-man. You know, it was amazing to watch how Stephen McGill just let St. John just sit on the ball for 2 whole minutes. And then finally, play was started. Fans started to get frustrated, you can tell. And after a while, I was, Coach Garyak and I were sitting there and I asked him even, have you ever seen this before? And, I got to give Zach Smith a lot of credit because you look at, they just played each other. Trinity Catholic, very strong team moving in transition. A lot of athleticism on the floor. They can move up and down. But for Stanford going into this, I thought it was actually pretty smart for them to kind of control the clock on their own end, let Trinity Catholic kind of wait, and then finally be able to play. At Tevin St. John, 17 points. I thought he played spectacular. Was sitting on 4 fouls the entire second half. Was still able to stay in the entire game. I really give him a lot of credit because, you look at this Stanford team, not a deep bench, and Zach Smith had had to juggle a couple of times to have Tevin St. John sit for a couple minutes, so he wasn't going to be able to foul out. But I thought St. John played one of the best games of the season. I got to tip the cap to him because he played really well, and he actually disrupted Dimitri Moyes down low. Dimitri Moyes is getting frustrated. He gets his 15 points. He had a good afternoon on the boards as well. But for Tevin St. John, I thought he played a great game. But Trinity Catholic, a little concerning there in the second half. Close game. Got to give it to Stanford. They really kept it close against Trinity Catholic. But I think Trinity Catholic is just thankful that they're moving on.
Wasn't the prettiest of wins, but they'll take it. They're on to the semifinals. Here's Trinity's 42-39 victory over Stanford.
And now Stanford will get our first look at their offense as Thurville will bring the ball up. And this is another topic of discussion, no shot clock here.
Oh, I agree, and that's something that our state does need. Rebecca Lobo came out with that a couple days ago talking about we need a shot clock in the state, and I totally agree.
You see some fans getting annoyed here.
I can tell you one thing.
This is over a minute now of St. John's sitting on the basketball. Stanford has been sitting on the ball for now close to 4.5 minutes. And you see good defense there by Rashid Constantine in the corner for 3. It's good. And we finally get our first basket with 2:25 to go here in the first quarter. Oh, what a spin move. Oh, what a finish by Tevin St. John. And Tevin St. John will look to run the floor. 3-pointer on the way from Thurville, and it's good! Josh Thurville from downtown. He's got 5 points.
I guarantee you, this whole situation that Stanford High is doing today, Trinity had no prepare for it.
And a steal and a make. Rashid Constant from downtown, and it's good. Big 3-pointer there by Rashid Constant. 3 off the mark, no good. Nice rebound by Constant. He looks to drive the floor over to McGill. His pass gets blocked. Lombardi gets the second chance opportunity to go. Lansing almost gets his pass swiped away. 3-pointer on the way is good. Nothing but net. St. John. Jaden Bell for 3. And it's good. 3-pointer is good for Jaden Bell. St. John inside. Layup is good. How about Tevin St. John? Nice shot breaking the press by Stanford, but taken away by Trinity Catholic. Here come the Crusaders. McGill out to Constant. His 3-pointer on the way is good. Trinity takes the lead. 2:50 to go. Here's Rashid Constant. Hands it off in the corner, and it's blocked! The winner will face number 2 Danbury Tuesday night at the Zioli House. And a block there by Thurville. Here comes St. John down the floor. Layup on the way is good. We are tied at 35. It's the number 2 versus number 3 as they'll take on the Danbury Hatters as they take down Stanford this afternoon, 42-39.
So the semifinals set on one side of the bracket, 2 versus number 3. You've got Trinity Catholic and Danbury. That will be the early game tomorrow night, excuse me, at Wilton High School. On the other side, a couple of upsets. Let's start with the 4-5 matchup. Fairfield Ward getting to play at home. You got the player of the year in the conference and Sean Conway. You've got to be feeling good. But a Trumbull team, Kevin, coming in super hot down the stretch. They find a way to get into the playoffs, get all the way up to the 5 seed, and they take care of the Mustangs 65-56.
You look at all 4 games, and quickly, I just want to say, Rashid Constant from Trinity Catholic, I don't think he deserves enough credit. He's had a terrific season, the junior. But just want to add that, but quickly, and the 4-5 matchup, all 4 games were entertaining. This one, down to the wire, had you at the edge of your seat throughout the entire match. I think you look at these 2 teams just so close the whole way, and Sean Conway, he gets his 23 points. And it's amazing to think that's not Sean Conway. You know, the guy's averaging 31 points a game, and he played terrific. You know, he was able to score some points. Shots just weren't falling at times for the Mustangs like we've seen throughout the season. It was a little frustrating as well. I think Coach Swaller was trying to work in guys, trying to get Houghton involved too. Houghton got some great minutes in the second half. Shots just weren't falling. He had some open looks. The Mustangs had open looks from 3. They had some layups that just didn't decide to rattle in. Frustrating afternoon. Trumbull was able to take care of business. Tamon Williams and Chris Brown. And I thought you look throughout this roster for Trumbull, all juniors and sophomores and a couple freshmen. Malik Green had some great minutes, number 2 for Trumbull. I thought he played well. And Evan Gutowski, I think he played, and I know Coach Gariak was praising him the entire game. He thought that was one of the best games he's played all season long. Really set the tone early on for Trumbull. Got some quick buckets. First half scored quick 6 points, a couple of jumpers as well, great on the glass. So Evan played a great game as well. Trumbull really strong, which is start to finish. They didn't struggle at any point, and I think that's where you saw Ward, where they're missing some shots, forcing a couple bad turnovers there in the second half that were costly. So again, frustrating for Sean Conway that he's not going to be able to move on. I know last year was a heartbreaker for them losing to Richfield at the buzzer. So for Coach Swaller and the Mustangs, now they look forward to the state playoffs. But for the Trumbull Eagles, what a great story they have been. To look at their schedule at the end of the regular season, to think that they would be in the semifinals, I think a lot of people would have been shaking their head saying, you know, you're out of your mind. So you got to give Coach Buddy Bray and the entire coaching staff a lot of credit for what they've been able to do for the Eagles basketball program.
Let's take a look at the highlights. Trumbull 65, Ward 56.
Rebounded by Chris Brown, and here come the Eagles in transition. Moving aside, layup on the way is good. Brown driving baseline, nice pass over to Gutowski, and he gets the finish. Nice play. Bogan out to Becker. Becker for 3, and it's good. The triple from the junior. Conway from 3. It's good. He gets the friendly roll.
Gotta love playing at home.
And Matthew Becker gets the steal. Layup on the way is no good, but he gets his own rebound. How about the block from Chris Brown? And he gets the 3-and-1 opportunity to go.
What great effort right there.
I don't know, didn't get it, but regardless, Mustangs able to convert. On the other end, it's Chris Brown with the triple.
Very big answer. He scores in so many ways.
Hey, he's just so much fun to watch. Certainly Coach Swaller going to miss him next year, but Tamon Williams with the fadeaway jumper. Coach Buddy Bray looking for the foul there, didn't get it. Over to Conway. Excuse me, Tamon Williams for 3! Tamon Williams is feeling it. 15 seconds. Inside to Chris Brown. The layup on the way is good. What a play there by Quintard Taylor and Chris Brown.
Game right now.
52-52 our score. Quintard Taylor for 3. He gets it to go. Excuse me, that's Malik Green. He gets a 3-pointer. The freshman. How about the freshman stepping up big in the fourth quarter? Conway gets it inside, and the Mustangs take a 1-point lead. Gutowski over to Brown. Brown can kill time. To Green, the layup is good. Ward's got to move it. Conway lets it go. Trumbull's going to win it. Slams it home. Trumbull is going to the semifinals. The team everyone thought was still a year away is going to the semifinals. And the Ward Mustangs sees their SCX season come to an end. What a finish.
So with Trumbull booking their ticket for the semifinals, just one game remained on the night. Supposed to go routine, number 1, number 8, the defending conference champion. In the words of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. 59-50, the Norwalk Bears upset the Ridgefield Tigers. I don't have a question to ask. I am just going to let Kevin break this one down.
You had this feeling from the first 3 minutes or so that something was, an upset was lurking, because the intensity that Coach Keys and his team came out with, man-to-man, in-your-face, Sellers with a couple big steals early on. I mean, Ridgefield just looked defeated in the first 5 minutes, and it looked like they were already packing their bags ready to go home. Langley played out of his mind. Ridgefield put didn't matter who it was Ridgefield put on Langley, he was going to beat them. The crossovers working, behind the back dribble, just everything was working. Driving inside, a little kickback, Jay, I mean, everything was working for Langley on Saturday night. It's too bad because that was a game that really was close at the end, and you look at that crowd that we had for the 4-5 matchup. I know that's at Fairfield Ward, it's a home game for the Mustangs. But I don't think a lot of people got to enjoy how much fun that last final game was, and to see the raw emotion from Coach Keys on the sideline. I know we haven't really had a chance to see Norwalk all season long, but man, I was so impressed with what I saw. Norwalk, they were outsized by Ridgefield, and they were still able to box out, move up and down the floor, not be smart with the basketball. Ridgefield, 10 turnovers in the first quarter. How are you expected to win if you're a 1 seed and throw 10 turnovers in the first quarter? You could see Coach McClellan, I think, was redder than a tomato after the first quarter. I mean, man, he was heated. The team just didn't respond. I thought Brendan McNamara was slow in the first half. Finally got things going, made it close in the second half, in the fourth quarter especially, but it just wasn't enough. Ridgefield did not take care of the basketball, plain and simple, and that's what happens if doesn't matter what seed you're playing. If you're the 1 seed, you can't take care of the basketball, and you let another team go by you, they're going to score, and they're going to put points up, and they're going to develop a big lead. Ridgefield was trailing the entire way. We're able to make a nice comeback, take the lead a couple times in the third quarter. But, man, Norwalk from start to finish, so impressive. The upset alert of the weekend. And, again, just Coach Keys, what he was able to do with this Norwalk team, beyond impressed.
I told you last week, Kev, always got to give Coach Keys and the Norwalk Bears a fighter's chance.
And you know what? We talked about it for weeks now, and I think a lot of people agree that, yeah, Ridgefield, 1 seed, great season. Too many close games this season. Yeah, they were able to squeak by some big games. And losing Wednesday night against Ward at the buzzer, I think you could look back at that maybe and say, maybe that's the reason. Maybe they still feel defeated that the way that the regular season ended. But they were the number 1 seed. I think you look at it and, still a lot of talent on this Ridgefield team, but I think a lot of people agreed that if there was a tournament that a 1 seed was going to get knocked out, maybe Ridgefield's the team, because they seemed a little vulnerable towards that end of the season, and just losing to Wilton too, you could see that night, what's the future going to be like for Ridgefield down the stretch? And I think some people after that game were saying, I'm not surprised by Ridgefield losing this way, because the way that Norwalk came out, I can't see how, and that's going to be a great matchup to Norwalk-Trumbull in the semifinals.
After winning 24 of 25 straight FCI contests, the Tigers have now dropped 2 in a row, and they'll be watching from the outside looking in at the semifinals. But first, let's look back on the number 8 Bears upset of number 1 Ridgefield.
2 for 2 is Sellers. A 7-2 early lead here for Norwalk. Good. Here comes Brendan McNamara. McNamara for 3, no good. Up the floor to Langley. His layup is good. Master Pietro trying to find an opening, can't get it. Langley moving inside, gets the move he wants. Nice move, a little crossover by Langley.
He is very tough to keep in front of him.
As we approach the final 10 seconds here, see if they try and find McNamara. McNamara gonna set the screen. And he gets it taken away by Sellers. Sellers, the layup on the way is good. And that's as we get things going here in the second half. The Bears, holding on to a 4-point lead. Benincasa for 3, and it's good. Joey Benincasa gets it to go. That's a big start for Norwalk.
Absolutely.
Christopher Nakel calling out the plays for the Tigers offense. Trying to find McNamara down low, can't get him. Here's St. Pierre, up for 3, and it's good! 3-pointer's good for James St. Pierre. It's a 1-point game.
That's a big answer right there.
Vines down low, kicks it out to Langley. Langley for 3, and it's good! Tyreek Langley, coach, you can't give him that much space.
No, I mean.
McNamara, pump fakes. The runner inside, it's good. Pretty play by the senior captain. Down low to Vines for 3, yes! Xavier Vines from downtown, he gets his first basket of the night. St. Pierre for the lead, no good. Rebounded by McNamara. Inside, trying to get fouled, and he does. He'll go to the line shooting 2. McNamara. Missed on both. 0 for 2 from the line as Brendan McNamara with a minute and a half to go. Back up and no good. Final 8 seconds to go, and the Cinderella story will continue. The Norwalk Bears, the number 8 seed, will knock off the defending champions.
So the semifinals set in boys basketball. Danbury and Trinity in the first game, Norwalk and Trumbull in the second game. And if you were curious, yes, I do think it was a good move by the San Jose Sharks acquiring Evander Kane at the trade deadline. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll look back to Thursday's FCIAC Championship in girls basketball. It's coming up next on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com. Well,
at Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home. Time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today. Dr. Steve.
Well, there's still a bite out.
Back on the HAN Network, Frank Granito, Kevin Coleman, looking back Thursday's FCIAC Championship in girls basketball. And congratulations again to the Trumbull Eagles, 2nd consecutive season. They are the champions of the conference, 4th time in program history. And Kevin, it was 2-0 Wilton, then 18-2 Trumbull. 4 minutes into this game, you felt like as much experience a senior-heavy Wilton team had, this game was over.
Again, the defense from Trumbull, I mean, without question, just beyond impressive. And the man-to-man defense, in your face, Julie Keckler, Schuler, the list goes on. McGuire, she's got quick hands as well inside. The countless, the 5 on the floor for Trumbull, no matter who it was, the continuous rotation. Megan Lesko, again, players who were just able to grab steals, force turnovers, and Wilton just was. Again, it doesn't matter what team you are. I think Trumbull does a great job of being able to force any team to turn the ball over. And again, just fast break points lead to an 18-2 lead.
But it's also not just the turnovers. Then they come out and they shoot the ball the way they did. I mean, you had O'Leary, Lesko, Brady Lynch was on early, McGuire, Keckler, Barbado, Palmieri, Schuler. Everyone was just, they were on the money. They were dropping from three early on. It was, the score made it seem much closer than it was. Trumbull in the driver's seat from the get-go. Let's look at the highlights from the Eagles' 60-49 victory.
Defending conference champion Trumbull Eagles taking on the second-ranked Wilton Warriors. And Kevin, we talked about it earlier today. We both agree the two best teams in the conference are going to settle it tonight in Fairfield.
It's like a 3-2 actually.
Lynch down to the corner as Kelly O'Leary spots up the triple. Oh, that was pretty.
That's how it's done.
That was Keckler who had the steal, and now she's open for three. Yes!
Bang!
Keckler's got the rebound and quickly pushing it up ahead. Pocket pass to Lynch. The lay-in good.
Timeout.
Oh, yeah.
Good look there by Goldman. That's her game. She likes to do a little crossover, create some space, and try and hit a three.
Lynch hit the floor. McGuire's open outside. This one just a two. Her foot was on the line. Here's another reason they're back in the championship game. The play of these freshmen like Cassie Barbado, Allie Palmieri, and the junior Megan Lesko rattling home the triple. Goldman had the rebound, sent it to Sweeney, gets it right back. We'll see how quickly they look to work. Steps into a three of her own, rattles it home.
Gets the crowd back into it too.
Corner three from McGuire. Palmieri open for three. Good!
Look at the speed from Keckler.
Barbados open up top. She wants in on the party. Yes! Good. Barbado, 15 feet out. Got it.
The freshmen are feeling it right now.
And the lead is 15.
Good defense from Keckler.
Oh! McGuire came over that time with a big block.
Woo! A little stare down after that too.
55-44. Goldman with a deep three. Good!
Finally gets one to go. Trumbull Eagles, unbelievable season.
The clock will strike zero. And for the fourth time in school history and the second year in a row, they remain atop the conference, 60-49 the final.
So congratulations again to Trumbull, the best team in the conference this year. It showed in that tournament, it showed in the championship. And you mentioned Wilton. What a great game Claire Goldman had, going for 27. She played so well down the stretch. Just on this night, Trumbull too much for Wilton to handle. I'm very excited to see both these teams in the state tournament. I was on CT Sports Now last week with Noah Finn's at Vantage, up at the Vantage Sports Kev. And I said before I left, I really do think this is a Trumbull team that can challenge for a state tournament. It'll be tough getting Mercy potentially there in the semifinals, but if they play defense like they did, if they shoot the ball like they did, it's a motivated group. It's a young, energized group. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Trumbull.
I think the key word there is a young, motivated team there because they're playing great team defense. They're running the offense smoothly. That pick and roll, the high pick and roll, where always a player seems to be open on the post for an easy layup. I think if they continue to play their game and not turn the ball over, which they really haven't, just play smart basketball, play together as a team, there's no question that I think Trumbull can get to that state final game and bring home not only a conference title, but a state title as well.
Well, that can be a lot of fun. Also want to offer congratulations, obviously, to the Greenwich girls hockey team. They won their second consecutive FCIAC championship, 2-1 against the New Canaan Rams on Saturday night. Didn't have time today, a little bit of a late start here, but we promise we're going to go through all the hockey from this weekend tomorrow, and we'll continue to get you ready for the semifinals in boys hockey and boys hoop. later on this week. Kev, great job today. Great job Saturday. Thanks again to Coach Gary. After work by John Kovacs, Mike Steve Gutman, and everyone else involved. For Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Granito. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 2:30 on the HAN Network.